Factory right at the mall. They actually have a couple good restaurants there, so I'm gonna try to think of it as a positive, even though I never like leaving my house.
If I could have some quiet, I'm getting ready to launch.
Factory right at the mall. They actually have a couple good restaurants there.
Well, it looks like we got to hear a little bit about the cheesecake factory during this. Welcome everyone to Epic Sketch Time. Epic Sketch Time is an online drawing group. We've been meeting for about the last 7 years or so. Currently, we're meeting on Tuesdays at 4:30. That could always change. Check the doobly-doo down below for a link to sign up to the drawing group. You can also follow us on Facebook, and there will be in the About section on our Facebook page a link to get into the email, or pardon me, to the mailing list. Additionally, you can sign up via Eventbrite right now. And a separate notice goes out to people who are in Eventbrite. We didn't have anyone sign up last week. Actually, we did have someone who signed up 3 weeks ago, but they canceled. So apparently they wanted us to let us know. And I'm beginning to wonder, you guys, should I charge $1 to people who want to come via Eventbrite? Simply so that that's the incentive. Once they sign up, I get a lot of people signing up, but they never show up.
Well, it might give them motivation. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with the strategy, though I've never put it to the test.
So I got, you both are kind of waffling here. We don't know yes or no's on this.
You could always try it, see what happens. I don't want to say yes or no. I mean,
here's another waffle. I'm putting butter on.
Well, it's, I make a conscious, like, there's only been like one time in the last 6 months where one day I was busy with my day job, and like I was just typing away doing something for work, and you messaged me and I was like, oh my God, it's already started and I forgot it. So I'm not gonna, but typically it is a very conscious effort to come and attend, because I have so much, because we all have busy lives. But yeah, I mean, it might be a good idea. I would love to see more people come and be part of the group, because I like seeing new people's art. I don't know, maybe we're really boring and people don't want to hang out with us. I've questioned that. I'm like, I don't know. Am I not a very likable person? I don't know. Why are there no people coming? But then it's also that maybe it's the time. Who knows? But I would definitely want to get my dollar's worth if I paid for it. That's for sure. Especially if there's no refunds. And even if, like somebody tries to do like those kids did that one time, well, I'm assuming they were kids. They might have been grown adults with nothing better to do, that tried to like take over the Zoom call. At least you would get $1 out of them.
Also, when the people put in $1, you got their contact information. So it pretty much eliminates the Zoom call. I'm looking at this nice little, boy, this wire rack is so cheap.
If you found a wire rack that's cheap, place that in the link, because they all look really expensive to me.
This one is $25. That's not.
Now, is it going to be for is it for art or books, or what are you going to put in it?
This is
I thought.
Pardon me?
I assumed it's for convention furniture.
Yeah, this is for sitting on the table. You're familiar with those wire cubes that are put together with the little plastic tabs on the corners?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is basically a series of 6 of those that are interlocking. I can't show you because I'm looking at it on my other screen, but hang on a moment. I'll just sign up to Amazon. on my tablet here and show you.
What breed of a cat would be having a great time knocking a tower over? Well, pretty much.
I have yet to find any every cat I know of enjoys knocking things off. I just
Yeah, one of the more entertaining proof there's no flat Earth posters I saw at one point was they saying the Earth couldn't be flat because the cats would have knocked everything off of it by now.
That is very true. I'm using a technique. This looks ridiculous, but I'm using a technique that I've been watching. Mark shared an Instagram account with me, and I've been watching people use draw and procreate and like the different things that they do. And so I'm trying. This looks like a mess, but if it
I'm always surprised at how well the amazing, you get a little 3-minute tutorial and you learn two new techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'm going to actually show a quick way to do a blend once I'm done showing you this stuff online. So let's see, I'm hitting the share screen. Click on that. Now I'm going to my okay, so here we are inside Amazon. And I found this shelf unit for $25. This one that I'm seeing here says $30, but the exact same thing as I found in another location. Also comes in white. So I wonder, and I've seen a lot of these at conventions. They all fall apart and they stack up really easy. They got these nice little pieces and it can hold a lot of weight. This one, where's the little sign? One of these signs tells us how much it can hold.
Kate, at this very moment, this is your image is kind of reminding me of Owl Kitty versus Godzilla. If you've seen that one.
No, I'll have to look though. Yeah, this is a hot mess. But it's funny because I come on here and do things, and while we're actually working, I've noticed a lot of my stuff just looks like crap. But then it's like, it's this one glimpse of time when I'm working on it, and then I bring it back the next week or whatever, and then it looks like a completely different piece.
Okay, so this is what the wire racks look like.
Oh,
okay. Oh yeah, I've got those.
Yeah, IKEA does something like those, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and actually, I've also seen ones like it. There used to be this store in the village called University Village called the Storage Center, which kind of specialized on that kind of thing.
How many are you wanting? How many blocks are you thinking you want?
I think I'm just going to buy one set here because I'll use half of them on one side and half on the other side.
Okay, I actually have 4 sets of these that are sitting in my garage. I'm not going to ever use all 4 sets again. So if you want to test it at Washington SummerCon for free, I will just bring you a set if you want. But if you want to, and then if it works for you, you can just have them. Unless you really want to buy it now and test it out and construct it, which I would probably do that because I hate being unprepared. But it's up to you. I'm happy to bring you a set.
Well, the thing is, it's always nice to set up your table ahead of time rather than to figure it out on the fly when you're there.
I know, I'm the same way. And Tim's like, yeah, we'll fix it in post, is what he always says. And we're like, scrambling around trying to get everything ready. And he's like, it's gonna change anyway when we get there. And I'm like, because I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, I like to have it prepared. I like to know where everything's gonna go, have a floor plan, and then, but in some ways he is right. You will have to adapt and overcome no matter what. There's going to be some kind of challenge at a con that's going to cause you problems. Doesn't matter.
But are you looking to just get rid of them? What are you?
Well, yeah, we just won't use them. We won't use that many again because I'm gonna do kind of like what, because I talked to Travis about his setup with his stuff before, and I've been following a lot of professional. I call them professional con. This sounds wrong. Professional con artists. Actually professional artists who go to cons on a significant basis. So I've been following them and watching how they set up all of their artwork and their tables at conventions. And so I know we'll never use that many again. There's just no way. But you know what? Go ahead and buy those. And then if you end up liking them or whatever, you can always return them and I'll give you these others just so you have it prepared.
They're only $25.
It's up to you. I just, I'm beginning to think like, what, this is going to end up being a kitten, by the way. I just realized the way I drew the body.
It's looking very cute as a kitten.
But
by the way, you don't bother messing around with the fur or drying fur because there's a whole brush you can use for drying fur. Once you have the it will draw the hairs for you.
I have a couple brushes. I have the fur and fluff set that I got from someone.
The fur and fluff. You're already ahead.
But I end up like I just learned how to use the smudge tool. And so I'm all about, see here, I'll put in like some of the other pieces with the smudge tool or with this, but I just learned how to use the smudge tool after having an iPad and Procreate for over a year.
By the way, Katie, I don't know why, but we've been watching you draw upside down this entire time.
Oh, it's because of the way my phone is. I don't know how to reverse it.
That's okay. I'm just going to turn my laptop upside down for a moment. So I can
there you go.
We're to look at this.
This crazy little kitten.
Well, now your screen went black.
Oh, I think it's because someone's calling me. They can just wait. That's the one drawback of using your phone to be on a Zoom meeting, is that anything that's going on with your phone can potentially interfere with your call. And here's another mistake I did. Oh.
So Lilac had where I was this last weekend. Lilac Cities, which is in Spokane, Washington, was absolutely fantastic. They had the highest attendance ever.
That's awesome.
And it was a really young crowd, like under 20s was for the most part. I mean, it was a very young crowd this time. So it's nice to see a whole new wave of conventioners. Now, the person I was supposed to go with, Russ Richards, wasn't there. He had to cancel because of issues. And he had been set up next to me, but that table got quickly filled by a guy named Christopher, and he did a bunch of Steven Universe stuff.
Okay.
And that whole community around that, they were really drawn to his table. And let's see, I wonder, I'm going to see if I can find his, well, I think his link is on my phone still. I can actually give you his name. There's the parking garage I stayed at. That's not it. Yeah, his name of his company is Crooked Pinky Fingers.
That's interesting.
Crooked Pink.
And yeah, Crooked Pinky Fingers. He's got a stink. He's got an Instagram. He's got TikTok. He's got an inactive Etsy store. Let's go to his website. I want to see if I can see what his trying to go to his Etsy shop. Nope, no, that's no good. I'm trying to find his if he has any of his prints online. Convention art. But he does show his convention art, but he doesn't have any of his prices up on this. But on the Steven Universe has a huge following. And there were some other anime stuff that was similar to Steven Universe, but that seemed to be the most part that he was doing. The way he was working it was an 11 by 17 was $20, but an 8 by 10 was $10, and a 5 by 8 was $5. So he would have the prints on display hanging behind him, and he'd get people coming up saying, "Oh, I don't know about $20 for 11 by 17," and he'd quickly sell them over to, well, you know, it's only $10 to have that as an 8 by 10. And then he would upsell again saying, "Oh, I'll give you 3 8 by 10s for $20."
Okay.
And so people were buying a lot of 3 by 10s. He was, so rather than having them, I said, this is a wonderful business strategy you have going here, because you're getting your $20, whereas before on an 11 by 17, they might have been on the fence about it. They're definitely going to do it for 10, but now, oh, it's easy enough to spend that 20 I could have done on the full print to not only buy 2, but to buy 3. So he's still getting the $20. I said, but what about your inventory? He says, that's part of the reason I'm doing this campaign like this, is I'd rather sell 8 by 10s rather than 11 by 17s, because they cost less to ship.
Oh,
And they also,
okay.
they're smaller. So I can pack more of those than I can the 11 by 17s, and I can sell more of them. And I thought that was extremely savvy for him to do. And I have decided that at this SummerCon, I was going to raise my rates. I have been just charging $10 a print. everybody else is charging 11 by 17 for prints. I mean, pardon me, 20 for 11 by 17 prints these anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm going to, at this con, I'm going to just stage it up and make it 15. And then if that goes well, I'll probably go up next year to 20. But
I think it depends on the convention too. And I think if you know the people at your audience and SummerCon, then you'll definitely get it. I'm actually lowering. Oh, go ahead.
I talked to Travis about this. He raised his rates last year and he saw no difference in sales.
Okay. That's good to know.
And I'm thinking, well, and I was looking around the convention at other people and their prices, and I started I noticed this price increase happening just before the pandemic. I was going to conventions and going, boy, there are people selling 8 by 10s for $20, let alone 11 by 17s. So, and I know I'm making a huge profit on them just at $10. But Travis says, I know you, Monlux. You're going to enjoy the money when it starts coming in. I said, okay, you've sold me there.
Oh gosh. Well, if I've as you know, I've not had a great history with my art in Washington yet. So we'll see how this one goes. And we'll see how it goes. I'm going to keep an open mind. I don't want to have a negative. Feel like if I go into anything with a chip on my shoulder, or I'm not going to sell, or people aren't going to like it, or whatever, then I'm setting myself up for failure. But I haven't had much success yet. We'll see how it goes. Seems we'll see if I sell anything this time. But I've not done Washington SummerCon, so we'll see how it goes.
So what conventions have you done?
Well, I've only, as an artist, I have only sold at 2 here in Washington. Actually, no, that's not true. I've sold at 4. That's, gosh, my memory. I've sold at 4. So I did a small like indie market and I didn't sell anything there at all. And then I did another like outdoor farmers market thing for a day. And I made enough money. The booth was like $65 and I made enough money to pay for the booth.
Right.
And that was it. And then I did Crypticon. I was ill prepared for Crypticon, though. What I had was not my best. So this has been, over a year ago. And then I did Jet City or Grit City, and
Grit City isn't is a thinly attended convention. You'll find this. I mean, I went to convention after convention, day convention, and some of them did well, and some of them I said, I'm not going to go back and do that again. Like I've gotten a free table at a 3-day thing, but the attendance was non-existent. It was tumbleweeds.
Right.
Because it was put out by the library and they didn't have a budget or the wherewithal to do any type. They think everybody knows, just an email on the library newsletter, that should be enough to pull people in. We've been doing this art show for years. But
no, it's not normally doesn't work that way. But yeah, so we'll see. I'm excited. I got on the wait list because I was like, Amanda, whoever you are, you have to push yourself, stretch yourself, and don't limit yourself or let one experience or your perception of something keep you from challenging yourself to do something else. Because I love art, and I love, just like with I still enjoy writing, that joy of giving someone something else. And art has its own unique joy versus a book. Like the book joy is the anticipation of that they have bought the book and they're going to go home and read it and they like the idea of what the book is versus the reaction you get when someone sees the art, because that is immediate. When they see that piece, even if it's not for them, it's for someone else, you see that look in their face where they're like, it's brought some kind, it's like increased the dopamine, whether it's a dopamine of and feeling of relief or a rush that they found something in your art that reminds them of someone else to give them as a gift, or it brings something out, whether it makes them laugh or it reminds them of something. And of course, making money off of what you're doing is always a cool feeling. But I'm still new to this, so that joy of seeing people like it is still really fresh for me. And I know yeah, you know what I'm saying. You guys have been doing this for a while. I've got to figure out how to make this cat not look like a bunny rabbit. These ears are all wrong.
I cannot believe how cheap this backdrop system is.
Yeah, they're not bad.
I'm wondering if I'm looking at one that's not tall enough. It says 7 foot high. I want something higher than that.
That's already on top of the table, which is what, 3 feet?
No. This is for the photographer's backdrop.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think that's high enough.
Yeah.
Now, is there a ruler on Procreate, like to help you draw straighter when you need to draw straight? Or
okay, in order to draw straight, what I want you to do is just go down to the bottom of your page.
okay.
Okay. And I want you to draw a line from one side to the other, but don't lift up your pen tip. Just draw from one side. Now hold it. Oh no, you drew it off.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, hold on. Just draw it from here to here.
Yeah, and hold your pen down. Wait. Okay, now take the tip of your pen, don't lift up, and just move it around. See how you get a nice straight line?
Oh, wow.
Okay,
That's
now,
cool.
but wait, there's more.
Okay.
Touch the screen with your other finger.
Okay.
Okay, and now move it around, and it'll work around in 45-degree increments.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, see how it does it in degree increments?
Yeah.
It just snaps. Okay.
Wow.
Guess what? Now, okay, go ahead and get rid of that.
Okay.
Now I want you to just draw a rough circle.
Okay.
And do the same thing. Nope, you lift it up.
Ah.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Draw a rough circle and hold down.
Okay.
See how it snaps into its own circle? And guess,
What
yeah. Oh,
is this?
now touch it with your finger.
This is magic. This is sorcery. Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that great?
Oh man.
Don't do anything when you tap the top of it
Okay.
Now what do I need to do?
Okay, now so go ahead and release. Okay.
and see the letters on the top?
Where it says edit shape?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Click that.
That, and it gives you a handful of options.
What is this? And then can I just move it, or do I have to do the little arrow thingy to move it?
No, the tip of your pencil.
Oh my goodness. How did I not know these things? Now I do have a question. So if I have this one little baby circle And
Right.
I want to make more. The way I have learned how to do that is to
Well, is it on a separate layer?
this one is not currently on a separate layer.
Okay.
Hold on.
What you want to do is create a new layer. This is why you always want to be working on different layers on things.
Okay.
So if you want to do something that's duplicated, so draw yourself a circle. You're on a new layer.
Okay.
Go up to the selection tool.
Oh, wrong one. Which tool? This one? Yes. Got it.
Okay. And see how you got those corners? Now take 3 fingers and drag 3 fingers down from the top. No,
Oh, from here?
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
Hit Command Z. I don't think you did it right.
Yeah, because I mean that's how I usually do a mass erase.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Hang on. I do this so much by automatic. I'm going into my panel here. Let's see. Just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and screen share mine.
Okay.
Okay. Screen share. Back in. Just a quick canvas. Oh, here's something. If you draw a square and hold it down, it'll draw all the lines straight and make it nice and even. Hold down the shift key, hold down your finger on it, and it'll automatically make it into a square. So you don't, it does the same thing with squares and rectangles as it does with circles. So let's see. Trying to figure out. Let's see. What I did just now was I took 3 fingers so that all 3 of my fingers were touching the screen off to the side of the selection, and I pulled down, and then this menu popped up. And from it, you can go ahead and just hit cut, or in this case, duplicate, and it'll duplicate it on another layer in the exact same position. And I want to do that again. So I pull down with 3 fingers from the top. And hit duplicate again. Whoops.
What am I doing wrong here?
I think what you're doing is you're pushing your 3 fingers too close together.
Okay, like they need to be.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you select
There,
it?
I did it. Yay!
You did it. There you go.
Woo! All right, now I've duplicated it. There we go.
Now you can also, this is how you can cut things. This is a real quick way to go in and be able to cut, copy all, and paste. And if you go to another layer, so you can cut something off one layer and move it to another layer and paste it down.
Wow.
See, you learned a whole bunch of stuff today.
Goodness, I'm so glad I brought my iPad today. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go look at kitten anatomy a little bit more before I finish this because I'm like, I need to look how kitten are the skeletal structure of kittens real quick before I go any further on this bad boy.
So you see, let's say that you have multiple. Do you know how to merge your layers?
Yes, I do. You go over here and then you push merge down, right?
Well, you can also just put one finger on the top layer, one finger on the bottom layer, or if you're like, I've got 3 layers here. So what I'm doing is I'll go to my layers and I'm just grabbing the top one and the bottom one and I'm pinching them together.
Oh.
And you can merge multiple layers that way. You didn't know that one, Bill?
No, I did not.
The thing is, though, you can undo that, but only until you leave the document. The moment you leave the document, you can't unmerge things.
Right.
Gotcha.
And your unmerge is only one step back, you know.
Okay.
So when you commit to merging layers like this, you're making a really big commitment. But you should always be working on multiple layers all the time, as many as you can. And then once you get, what you do is, if you want, you duplicate, you leave the file, you go outside the file, you name that artwork, and then once you've, you know, I'll just name, okay. Now you select that artwork with all of its layers and you hit duplicate. You go into the one that you've duplicated and you call, and you give that one a different name, call it man 2. Because all those layers are taking up a lot of room, you go into this one, and since this is your copy, this is one that where you can merge everything together. It reduces down the file size significantly, and then that is the JPEG that you send off. Because then you're not sending off a JPEG that has multiple images or multiple layers stored into it.
I never bothered with turning anything into JPEGs because you can just export something as a JPEG that's completely separate.
But also, this is why you can now, in this second document, you can go up and let's see, go into your canvas. This is, and then clip, crop, and resize. Go on to reset or your settings and see where it says 8.5 by 11. Well, okay. I can go ahead and decide I'm going to make this half the size. Now let's see.
I cropped it.
Well, you can also drag your crop around this way. So this can reduce your file size, because if you left it this big, it's remembering everything. But if this is the only part of the image that you want to save, then you just can crop in, go like this, hit done. Now this image is much smaller. Go back into your settings again on your canvas, crop and resize, settings, and you can also change your DPI. Like if this is only going to be seen on the web, you can go from 300 to 72, and that'll really rotate it down. And I love this rotation tool. Where you can actually pump in the degrees of rotation, or rather it'll show you the degrees of rotation. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and undo those. But this is how I like to work at 300 DPI, but when I have to send files off, or if I'm just going to save stuff for showing on Instagram, I'm going to lower down the resolution as low as possible so that people don't have a printable copy off my Instagram.
That's a
'Cause it's-
good point.
It's only going to be 72 DPI. Also, see how when I reset it, because it's smaller on this image, it's only 72 DPI and it's really small. So I have 220 layer options to work with at this size. If I worked at 11, I was working on my, I'm going to go ahead and click done here and stop sharing. Remember when I was doing my 30 by 40 illustration for the jigsaw puzzle? That was at 300 DPI, and the memory in Procreate could only give me 5 layers. So I'd work on a couple layers, and then I'd merge them, and I'd work on it, and then I'd add a layer, and then work on a couple more layers. So I had basically, by the end of it, only 4 layers. One, my upper black layer, then my main color layer underneath it. Then I had the shading that I did over that color layer, and a separate shading I did for shadows on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I sent that file off, I duplicated it, I saved it all. But as I worked away on this file, I kept making duplicates of the entire file. So in case I made a mistake, I could go back to an earlier stage of it and copy and paste it. And then after I was done with it, I can get rid of all those files. I really need to do that, but I haven't done it yet. So the one Travis got was a 10 by 10. I need to find that. This one says 10 by 7. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. Well, we had a little Procreate party today here at Epic Sketch Time. I guess I'll see you guys all next week. Katie, I'm looking forward to seeing just how far along you've gone on your kitty scratching post at that time. Bill, what were you working on this weekend?
This weekend, I was mostly working on writing and then having an interesting adventure getting lost in West Seattle, which was where I was biking, and my Google Maps was giving me some directions that yielded some questions like, how do I back out of this highway entrance without getting killed?
Oh my God.
Oh, were you driving a car?
I was bicycling.
Oh.
And unlike, say, I-5 and 405, the ones that go into West Seattle really sneak up on you. But otherwise been working on writing the strips.
I also just found this polyline thing. This is interesting.
Oh, I
How
haven't
did
seen
I?
that before.
Yes,
How
I
did you do
drew.
that?
I drew a bad square. Like I continuously drew the square, but I drew an extra line on accident. And then when I went to do the thing to make it, be a square versus a rectangle, instead of doing that, it said polyline. And so now I'm moving all the different lines together. And I can move some more over here. Fascinating. Here, let me turn off these other layers so you can see it. There's what it looks like. So it looks like origami.
Well, this has been another fun episode of Epic Sketch Time. I will see you guys all next week. Same bat station, same bat channel. You'll have a fun day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.